start. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutopadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Swagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Swaraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We welcome all of you to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat study. This is Padma Mukha Nimai Das from Sri Mayapur Dham. We'll be trying to serve you here. So Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, the biography of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The author is Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So we have various Vedic scriptures, Shastras, like the Vedas, we call Vedic knowledge or Vedic Shastras. So Vedic Shastras or Vedic knowledge has 18 divisions. 18 divisions. There are 4 Vedas, Rig Ved, Samved, Atharva Ved, Yajur Ved, and 4 Vedas. Then there are 6 Vedangas like Shiksha, Nirukti, Vyakarana, Chanda, like that. Jyotisha is also there. 4 and 6, 10. Then there are 4 Upavedas like Ayurved, Dhanurved. Then Ayurved, Dhanurved, Gandharva Ved. Ayurved, Dhanurved, Gandharva Ved, and there is like Niti Shastra. Then there are 4 Upangas also, like that. Upangas. So in total 16 divisions are there of Vedic knowledge. And the transcendentalists or those who are in Gurukula or the scholars in Vedic education, they read all these things. That in 4 Upangas and Puranas are there, Purana Itihas, all these things are there. So we accept this, all of them as Vedic Shastra, bona fide Vedic Shastras. Shruti Praman, then Smriti, like the Puranas, which are given to us by the sages, by the rishis. Sri Jiva Goswami explains that for us, for in Kali Yuga, the Smriti Puranas are even more relevant for us, given like more digested knowledge given in the Smritis. Specifically in Kali Yuga, it's difficult to go and read all the Shrutis, and not we are that much trained in that way also. So whatever, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that that these Upanishads are like kindergarten education, like the alphabet. Varnamala. When you teach the kids, how do you start teaching? A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, D for dog. All these things you teach first. You don't teach them first in the beginning, like quantum mechanics and physics and chemistry. You don't teach them. First of all, teach them A, B, C, D alphabet. Similarly, when you come to the path of transcendental education or Vedic education, first thing is taught to you is ABCD alphabet. That's why the Vedas are like Upanishads, they are like alphabet, kindergarten education. And those people are considered kids. They study ABCD. That's why you find in, just like in, for small kids, very like what is called kind of generic way they are taught, not specified way. Like you don't teach them like, of course, first of all, you study that ABCD, and then you come to primary school, then high school, and then college, and then university. You become doctor, MBBS, then you become a cardiologist or dermatologist, specified education. But in the beginning, you have generic education. So that's why in Vedas, in Upanishads, they use such a language so that it's appealing to all the people, like the devotees, like the karmis, jnanis, impersonalists, mayavadis. Everybody read Vedas, Upanishads. So Vedas, Upanishads for all. That's why they will use the language like Brahma, Om Parabrahmane Namah, Om Paramatmane Namah. They will not say that Parabrahma is Krishna. They will not say, oh, Krishna is Parameshwar Bhagavan, Anadiradi Govinda, or Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. They will not say, oh, Krishna's beautiful form, like Varaha Piram Natavara. All these things they will not say. A generic way. Parabrahma, Nirgun Parabrahma. So yeah, Parabrahma is, because in that level, that understanding is given, okay, Parabrahma, Nirgun Parabrahma, and all this like that. Then you graduate from that level, get elevated from next to next level, then you are taught gradually things. So even Bhagavad Gita is also called Upanishad, Gita Upanishad. So even Srila Prabhupada also wrote in the purport of Bhagavad Gita that this is like ABCD of Krishna consciousness or spiritual knowledge, beginner's guide in Bhagavad Gita. Just like that. So in Bhagavad Gita also, first of all, Krishna said, Arjuna, you do karma, then jnana, then yoga, and then gradually at the end, sarvadharman parityajya. So in Bhagavad Gita level also you read and you find that mukti, liberation, is glorified, is kind of promoted as an aspiration, as a goal, that just like about the spiritual world. Natad bhasayate surya nashashanka na pavaka. The Prabhupada writes in the purport that one should be captivated by this information of the spiritual world. Captivated. So yeah, spiritual world is like this or that. So yes. So in Bhagavad Gita level also you'll find that, okay, mukti is glorified, kind of goal of life, or okay, get that, attaining that destination. But when you come to Bhagavatam, in the beginning of Bhagavatam itself, Dharma Pradojita Kaita Patra Paramo Nirvasaranam Tatam, that Pradojita Kaita Patra Parama, giving up this cheating religion, Kaitava. And what is the cheating religion? Mukti. So throughout the Bhagavatam, from the beginning of Bhagavatam, Mukti Vasana, Mukti Vancha, all these things are criticized, all these things are rejected from beginning itself. All the characters in Bhagavatam, Prithu Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Kunti Devi, Britrasura, everyone comes and prays to Krishna, prays to their prayers, offer their prayers. One common theme you will find that we don't want mukti, I don't want mukti, I don't want liberation. Everybody rejects mukti, liberation. And then Bhagavatam ends on the note of, okay, again, Nama Sankirtanam Yasta Sarva Pranashanam, that okay, chanting the holy name. Ultimate conclusion. Last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is Nama Sankirtanam Yasya, chanting the holy name. So where Bhagavad Gita ends, like Sarvadharman Parityaja, Bhagavatam starts from here. Dharma Pradajita Kaita Patra Paramo. Bhagavad Gita ends and Bhagavatam starts from that point, that note. And where Bhagavatam ends, Chaitanya Charitamrita starts from that note. Nam Sankirtan. How to do Nam Sankirtan? Chaitanya Charitamrita is there. So Bhagavad Gita is and Vedas, they are like Vedic Grantha, Vedic Shastra, Vedic scriptures. All the Vedavadis and all the people, they follow the Vedic Dharma. Everybody read Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads and Vedas. Fine. But Srimad Bhagavatam is specifically a Vaishnava Grantha, Vaishnava scripture. Only the Vaishnavas read Bhagavatam. The impersonalists don't come and read Bhagavatam. Only devotees will read Bhagavatam. Of course, there are different, all the four sampradayas are there. Sri Sampradayas and Madhva Sampradayas. Of course, Bhagavatam is for all. Vaishnavas read Bhagavatam. But Chaitanya Charitamrita is more specific, that is Gauriya Vaishnava Grantha, Gauriya Vaishnava scriptures. Only the Gauriya Vaishnavas read Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we call Chaitanya Charitamrita is our PhD. Bhagavad Gita is ABCD, kindergarten education, then Bhagavatam is graduation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is post-graduation or PhD level study. Now, how is that? That's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita we see that the ultimate teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of Gauriya Vaishnava Siddhanta is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that's why I said that how to read Bhagavatam. He said, if you haven't read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can't understand Bhagavatam. And how to read Bhagavatam, that you have to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, find out, understand the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and read Srimad Bhagavatam in that line. Find out the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Charitamrita in Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's how you read Bhagavatam. And that's how you understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So understand Srimad Bhagavatam in line with Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah. So there was once a flood in Mayapur. Things were getting flooded, water and all. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving a class, Harikatha. He was speaking on the Bhagavatam. So he was saying that like this condition, what is going on now, like the flood and all, similarly there will be the Mahapralaya and Maha, that flood, and great inundation of the entire cosmos, cosmic manifestation through the Karana Samudra ocean, the water from the Karanavari. Everything will be inundated in that final inundation, the annihilation. So one who wants to save himself in that final annihilation, he should grab hold of these three. What are these three? Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. These three, grab hold of these three. He said like that. Then he said that, but if you complain that no, it's difficult to grab hold of three things together. I have only two hands. How can I hold three things? So then he said, okay, you can give up Srimad Bhagavad Gita and hold of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then he said, if you further complain that no, I still can't hold of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita together, so you can give up Bhagavatam also. But don't give up Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you give up Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is no chance, no hope. So that's the position of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada was also, you see, he was very eager to give us Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was not that desperate to finish Bhagavatam. He knew that, okay, Bhagavatam, okay, he was writing Bhagavatam, but he was really desperate to write Chaitanya Charitamrita and give us. He said that, I don't know, I'm an old man, how long I will live? So publish it. So within 2 months, they published Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think all of you know the history of Chaitanya Charitamrita publications. Rameshwar Prabhu and all, like from BBT, whole entire team. There was a competition between Srila Prabhupada and the devotees publishing, day and night, proofreading and layouting, designing, cutting the books, and like the whole marathon. Within 2 months, they finished entire Chaitanya Charitamrita printing work. So Prabhupada was such desperate to give us Chaitanya Charitamrita, such important, valuable thing for us. You see how the connection between them, or the difference. In Bhagavad Gita, the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is what? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vrajaha. That give up everything and all occupational duties and surrender to me. This is the ultimate conclusion of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Now in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you see that in Bhagavad Gita, who is the speaker? Krishna is the speaker, Arjuna is the listener, hearer. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you see that Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that Arjuna came as Ramananda Rai, Rai Ramananda. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became the listener, and Ramananda Rai became the speaker. Opposite. It's kind of like the teacher teaches in the class, and the teacher takes test, exam. Now you speak, I listen to you. Let's see how much you understood. So Krishna is taking exam of Arjuna. Hmm? Krishna is Mahaprabhu and Arjuna is Ramananda Rai. So Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai that, okay, Ramananda Rai, you speak out. What is the ultimate goal of life? प्रभु कहे कह राय नय राय कहे स्वधर्माचरण विष्णु भक्ति होय. What is the ultimate perfection? And he says swadharma acharan. Then he quoted shloka varnashrama charavata purushena parupuman and other things. Mahaprabhu said iha bahya age kaho. This is external. Iha bahya. This is external. You say something more like age kaho. Go ahead and go more deep. Age kaho. And so Ramananda Rai said, okay, fine. Then Krishna Karmarpon. Krishna Karmarpon. What is Krishna Karmarpon? Krishna Karmarpon means you like dedicate all your action, all your activity, all the fruits to Krishna. Then he quoted Bhagavad Gita shloka, Yat karoshi yadashnashi yajjuhasi tadasiyat. Why it is disturbing like this? Just a second. Yajjuhasi tadasiyat. All these shlokas he quoted. And Mahaprabhu said, still he said that, no, iho bahya age kaho. Still he said, no, iho bahya age kaho. Just a second. This one is disturbing. Okay. So Age Kohar, then he quoted Yat Karoshi Yadashnashi, all these slokas. He still he said that no, these are external Age Kohar. Then Ramananda Rai said that, okay, Dharma Tyag. Then he quoted Sarvadharman Parityajya. 18.66 of Bhagavad Gita. And Mahaprabhu still he said, Iha Bahya Age Kohar. He didn't accept. So Ramananda Rai could have said, oh, what is this? You only taught me this in Bhagavad Gita in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that Sarvadharma Parityajya. And now you are rejecting this? If the teacher teaches something in the class, and then while exam, student writes the same thing, and teacher says, no, it's wrong. How will the teacher say, no, sir, you only taught me this? So then Ramananda Rai, Mahaprabhu pushed him, okay, go more deep, dive more deep. So then Ramananda Rai, he quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam. ज्ञाने प्रयासमुदपस्सनमन्ति एव जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीय वार्तां स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगतां तनुवांग मनोभिर ये प्रायश अजित अजित अपि च श्रीलोक्याम. That wherever you are, stay situated at your place, and with your body, mind, and words, chant and hear Krishna Katha. Then Mahaprabhu said, yes, iho hoy, this is correct, this is fine, acceptable. Now still you go ahead, proceed further, explain more. Age kaho. The first thing he accepted is hearing and chanting. Previous everything, okay, dharma tyag, karma tyag, and Krishna karmarpan, everything he said that, okay, bahya. No. So that means you see that how, like the ultimate, what is the level of Chaitanya Charitamrita? What is Mahaprabhu expecting from his devotees? So that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Directly we can see the ultimate conclusion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta there. So Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. So now, just like Saraswati Thakur said that before reading Bhagavatam, we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. then you understand Bhagavatam. Of course, you read Bhagavatam, read Chaitanya Charitamrita, means after you reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, then you understand Bhagavatam also. So similarly, before reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you read Chaitanya Bhagavat. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is like the appendix of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Himself, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, himself says that it is like the appendix of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Like Srimad Bhagavat is written by Vyasdev, so Vrindavan Das Thakur is called the Vyasdev of Chaitanya Lila. And he is the one who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita are two celebrated biographies of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, there is Chaitanya Mangal also, another wonderful and great book on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's biography written by Lochan Das Thakur. It's also there. But mainly these two books, Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Bhagavat talks about more of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Navadvip Lila, Mayapur pastimes. How he was in Mayapur and everything in Mayapur. All the pastimes mostly focuses on that. Of course, some pastimes after sannyas also there in Puri. Some pastimes are there. But basically, this calls as Navadvip Lila and Chaitanya. That's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami just says Navadvip Lila in few chapters. Last few chapters of Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about Navadvip Lila. And after that, Mahaprabhu takes sannyas, and from Madhya Lila, it starts Mahaprabhu's after pastimes, like after Navadvip in Jagannath Puri and traveling to South India and Vrindavan, all these things. So you both this book you put together, then there's a complete edition. Completely you get. So first read Chaitanya Bhagavad and then read Chaitanya Charitamrita. And another thing is that Kaviraj Goswami himself says that that in Chaitanya Charitamrita he had a special mission also to establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality of Godhead and establish the philosophy. That's why he quoted profusely slokas, Sanskrit slokas from here, there are Shastric slokas, like you read Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, filled with philosophy. Advaita Tattva, Nityananda Tattva, and that internal reasons, external reasons for Mahaprabhu's appearance, and so many things, and so many other things are there. But in Chaitanya Bhagavat, you find filled with juica, that the juices, the rasa, that pastimes of sweet pastimes of Mahaprabhu, amazing pastimes of Mahaprabhu. You find what all he did as a small kid. Like, point is, as a small kid, all these amazing pastimes he did. When he became sannyasi, he was more of sober sannyasi, restrained himself and sense controlled. So his pastimes are amazing. But as a small kid, small child, naughty child in Navadvip, you find all these amazing pastimes. What he did with Navadvip Vasis, how he was like arguing, quarreling with Sridhar, and he was bargaining with Kholavecha Sridhar and bought these banana leaves and banana stems, all these things from him. How he dealt with Murari Gupta and all these people, like how he dealt with amazing Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these sweet past Nityananda Prabhu's. That's the thing. All those this kind of pastimes you find in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Charitamrita is more of like, means realistically speaking, Chaitanya Bhagavat is more of for devotees of Mahaprabhu. Vrindavan Das Thakur just wrote it for the devotee. Just read it about Mahaprabhu. When you accept Mahaprabhu as Supreme Lord and you read it. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami also had a thing in mind to appeal it to other people and bring it to Mahaprabhu's shelter. So Siddhanta and everything pakka. That's why in Chaitanya Bhagavat you find with pastime there's Nityananda Prabhu removed all his clothes, got naked, and he was running in the house of Mahaprabhu. He was running. And like that, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tore apart the kopin of Nityananda Prabhu and tied on his head, and all the devotees tied on his head. This kind of wonderful and a bit strange pastimes also you will find in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Then one day one crow came and stole the one pot, Vishnu Puja pot, ghee pot from Srivas Thakur's house. Nityananda Prabhu called it, brought the pot, all kind of amazing, wonderful things you find in Chaitanya Bhagavat, filled with nectar. Of course, here also we'll find very good philosophy and wonderful teachings, lessons from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Specifically, we are going to read with the commentary of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, amazingly, he brought very beautiful, valuable lessons for all of us in his Chaitanya Bhagavat commentary. Actually, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was writing Chaitanya Bhagavat, you know when? When he was in Navadip Dham and he was doing his brata of chanting 1 billion holy name. So every day he was he was chanting 3 lakhs of the holy name. Every day he was chanting 3 lakhs, and he would cook himself. He would eat one time, cook himself, and he would sit in Mayapur. He was chanting 3 lakhs every day. If somebody would come, he would preach to them also, and then he would write Chaitanya Bhagavat. So he was chanting himself, he was relishing the holy name, and at that time he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat commentary. So his spiritual ecstasy is everything he wrote here. But interestingly, amazingly, you find in while we'll see while reading Chaitanya Bhagavat that such variety of various things he brings, very cultural aspects in Bengal, or what all things happen, this happens, that happens. So many things he brings in Chaitanya Bhagavat commentary, various things. So that's why it will be philosophical also when we read Chaitanya Bhagavat Saraswati Thakur's commentary. Okay. So I have shared with you in the group, WhatsApp group, that link to download the PDF. Ideally, actually, we should not share the PDF because this is the published book, belongs to the publication. But of course, this book is there on the database also. That's why we shared, because it's on the public forum as a free. You can find it. If you have database folio in your computer, you can find in the section writings by previous acharyas, writing by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and you can find that entire thing, Chaitanya Bhagavat. You can buy it also. You can buy it also from Amazon or from, you can just search it. This one was translated by Bhumipati Prabhu and published by Brajaraj Press, edited and published by Punjarik Vidyanidhi Prabhu. So yeah, great. But we'll try to read from this. But actually speaking, those who know Bengali, because this book is written in Bengali, you relish it the most. The original language, how it was written, because certain things you, even if you translate it, you just it's difficult to express those expressions in a different language, that too in English. Certain things, certain words, certain feelings. So that's why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur expected devotees read, learn Bengali and read these books in the original language. Whatever, we will try our best to convey that. Because there is a question, total how many bona fide biographies are available on Lord Chaitanya? So there are various biographies are there, but actually speaking, we take around 8 biographies we take. And like His Holiness Jayapatika Swami Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master. So he is compiling a book called Chaitanya Book, Krishna Chaitanya. He, for many years going on, I'm also part of that, have been a part of that team. So Guru Maharaj had a plan, desire of bringing all the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, all the biographies together and publish as multiple, just like Prabhupada gave Krishna book in a prose format, Krishna's pastime. So Guru Maharaj had the plan of giving like Chaitanya book. It will be multi-volume. We got 8 biographies, like this 3 in Bengali, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, and Chaitanya Mangal. Then there is Prema Vivarta also, another book, short book. It's beautiful, amazing book, a short book by Jagadananda Pandit. Sometimes we can read that also. Once we did a course on this also, we already did a few years back. So Prema Vivarta is the 4 books in Bengali. Then other 4 books are there, like Gauranga Lila Smaran Mangal Stotram by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then Murari Gupta Karcha, notes by Murari Gupta, then Sri Krishna Chaitanya Charita, another book, then Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, drama book on Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, like that. 4 more books, like all these 4 books are in Sanskrit. These books are in Sanskrit, but these 4 books in Bengali. So 4 in Sanskrit, 4 in Bengali. So these 8 books we take as bona fide sources, and based on that, Guru Maharaj is trying to compile it And only he knows, and Krishna knows, and Prabhupada knows when you will get that book, but that will be amazing thing to read all the amazing pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into Chaitanya Bhagavata. Yeah, so this is the book. You can buy it also. We recommend you can buy it the hard copy. Always it's good to read in the hard copy. You relish it more. So in the beginning of course, one thing is missing in this book is that in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Saraswati Thakur, he gave headings before the verses, before the shlokas. Each shloka or sometimes like group of shlokas, he gave headings. But in this edition, it's not translated. Like in this edition, the headings are not translated above that. Only you get translation and you get commentary. You get the commentary and translation, but headings are not there. But I'll try to read those from the Bengali book. Hmm. Okay, so in the beginning of the book, life sketch of the author, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, is given. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also gives that in his edition, a short sketch of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, he was born in Navadvip Mandal, Navadvip Dham, in a place called Mamgachi. Right now also it's there. This is one of the island in Navadvip Dham Parikrama. When you do Navadvip Dham Parikrama, one of the island is Mamgachi, which is Mododromadvip. Beautiful place where Lord Ram came in Treta Yuga. While in his exile, he came and he stayed here for some time. Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Mododrumadvip, Mamgachi. Why is Mododrumadvip? Lord Ram came and he sat under a big banyan, huge banyan tree. Ram, Sita, and Lakshman, and they witnessed Navadvip Dham, beheld the beautiful scenery of Navadvip Dham, praised the beauty of Navadvip Dham. So he was very happy sitting under the tree, gigantic banyan tree. So happiness in Sanskrit is called moda, moda, and drum is a tree. So because he got really happy and sitting under this tree, that's why that particular island is named as Mododrumadvip. And Vrindavan Das Thakur is born there in Mododrumadvip, which is on the other side of Navadvip now. You can cross the boat and then you can go there. Hmm. So Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother's name was Narayani Devi. His father's name is not mentioned anywhere, but his mother was Narayani Devi, and she happened to be the niece of Shivas Thakur, Shivas Thakur's brother's daughter. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat also we'll find that pastime that one day, like all the devotees, they are really frightened, a bit fearful of the Chand Qazi, the Muslim Qazi. Devotees are fearful about that. The Muslim Qazi will come and he already threatened us. And the Muslim Qazi will what called threaten and all these things. So Mahaprabhu tried to pacify the devotees. Said, "Don't worry, I will." What to speak of the Muslim Qazi? I will give him love of Godhead and make him dance and chant in the holy name. So devotees still are not pacified. So then, to make them believe, Shiva Mahaprabhu looked at Narayana, small little girl Narayana. Mahaprabhu looked at her and told her that Narayani, you call Krishna, chant Krishna, Krishna. Then as Mahaprabhu said, chant Krishna, Narayani, a little girl, started to chant loudly Krishna, 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 and then she started to show ecstatic symptoms. She was rolling on the ground, she was crying and tears and then trembling, head, body trembling and hairs getting erected, all this romancha kampasha, all this ecstatic symptoms she was exhibiting. So all the devotees were amazed, like a small little girl. She got love of God and she was showing ecstatic symptoms just by the words of Mahaprabhu. So then they believed. And then Narayani would get the Uchishta remnants prasad of Mahaprabhu. You see, Narayani was so fortunate that Mahaprabhu gave her his remnants Mahaprasad. And that Narayani later on gave birth to Vrindavan Das Thakur. And Vrindavan Das Thakur heard the pastimes of Mahaprabhu from his mother Narayani told, because Narayani herself witnessed all the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. So she told these things to Vrindavan Das Thakur. And also there was Murari Gupta Karcha, the diary by Murari Gupta, and then diary of Swarup Damodar was also there. So from there also these things are written. Okay. So like that, we can see that Narayani's house was, in-laws house were there in Mudodrumadip. Now, in the childhood itself, Vrindavan Das Thakur lost his father, and that's why there is no mention of his father's name, because yeah, he lost his in the childhood itself. Not much things mentioned about that. And there are some opinions that from his father's line, that not everybody took shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, something like that. That's why that lineage is not mentioned. Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother's lineage is mentioned mainly, basically. And till now, you can go there and find this beautiful place in Mududrundu, in Mamgachi. Whatever. So various, like his pastimes are mentioned. Vrindavan Das Thakur's biography is mentioned there. The father of Shiva's Pandit's wife, Malini Devi, lived in that village of Mamgachi. So actually, that was Shiva's Thakur's in-laws' house, also that side. Now we have Gauriya Math there, beautiful Gauriya Math, beautiful deity there, and we go there, take darshan in the parikrama. So from childhood itself, Vrindavan Das Thakur exhibited amazing scholarship in Vedic Shastra, Vedic scriptures, and then he was ordered basically by Nityananda Prabhu to write pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so you can go ahead and read the pastimes, like the story is there. We can go ahead. Then, yeah, there are also mention of Vrindavan Das Thakur. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami, he profusely wrote about and glorified Vrindavan Das Thakur. অরে মূঢ় লোক শুনো চৈতন্য মঙ্গল, চৈতন্য মহিমা যাতে জানিবে সকল। কৃষ্ণলীলা ভাগবতে কহে বেদ ব্যাস, চৈতন্য লীলার ব্যাস বৃন্দাবন দাস। That of fools read Chaitanya Bhagavat. Actually, Chaitanya Mangal, what he is saying, there is also a story. Let's see that what he says later on. That point is given there. You see here. Introduction to Gauriya Bhashya. Where is that? Forward. Summary of Gaura's pastimes. Opening words here, you see. The original name of Chaitanya Bhagavat was Chaitanya Mangal. Originally, when he wrote it, it was Chaitanya Mangal. As Sri Lochandas Thakur, disciple of Narahari Sarkar, wrote another book named Sri Chaitanya Mangal, so Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur later changed the name of his own book to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, in order to differentiate the two books. Actually, in Bengali, traditional Bengali, there are different kind of books, like they call it Pachali. Like there is Pachali, like just like you have Hanuman Chalisa. In North India, it is more famous, Hanuman Chalisa. Similarly, in traditionally Bengali, this kind of books are there, that Lakshmi Pachali, or like that. So that particular tune They call Panchali means five kind of, also there are different kind of tunes are there, different kind of songs, like the ladies and gents, everybody sing it like that song. So, and those who are called like Manusha Mangal and this Mangal, that like that this kind of books are there, glorifying Manasa and other things. Goddess Manasa, who was the snake goddess. So Vrindavan, Lochan Das Thakur wrote in that format actually. In the follows that format. So that's why Vrindavan Das Thakur thought that that would be more appropriate to name Lochan Das Thakur's book as Chaitanya Mangal, and then he changed his book's name as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Hmm. So that people can differentiate between these two books. So when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami refers to Chaitanya here, Chaitanya Mangal in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is referring to Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Hmm. And actually, it was by the desire of Narayani Devi. Narayani Devi desired that this book be named as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can find the pastimes of Krishna. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, we find the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, specifically in Navadip Dham. Okay. So, furthermore things he says about further things he says about Vrindavan Das Thakur. Hmm. Yes. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Vedo Vyas, Chaitanya Lila Vyas, Vrindavan Das. That just like Vrindavan Das in Bhagavatam, Krishna Lila was spoken by Vrindavan Das Thakur, sorry, Vyasdev. Similarly, Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, of fools, just read this Chaitanya Mangal, means Chaitanya Bhagavat. By reading this book, you can understand all the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. বৃন্দাবন দাস কইল চৈতন্য মঙ্গল যাহার শ্রবণে নাশে সর্ব অমঙ্গল. Thakur Vrindavan Das has composed Sri Chaitanya Mangal. Hearing these books, this book annihilates all misfortune. All the misfortunes will be annihilated, destroyed by reading this book. Hmm. চৈতন্য নিতাইর যাতে জানিয়ে মহিমা, যাতে জানি কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্তেরও সীমা. You read, you come to know the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu from Chaitanya Bhagavat, and then you can get Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhantero Shima. Amazing. The ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Krishna. Hmm. So who says this book is just only stories? It's not only stories, but you get ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Lord Krishna. ভাগবতে যত ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্তের রসার লিখিয়াছেন ইহা জানি করিয়া উদ্ধার. So in Chaitanya Mangal, means Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the conclusion and essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, he quotes, of course, Kaviraj Goswami quotes more and more shlokas in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vrindavan Das Thakur doesn't quote that much, but of course, he has given the ultimate conclusion here. চৈতন্য মঙ্গল শুনে যদি পাষণ্ডী জবন সেহ মহাবৈষ্ণব হয় তত ক্ষণ. Even if a great atheist hears Chaitanya Mangal, this Chaitanya Bhagavat, he immediately becomes a great devotee. Immediately becomes a great devotee. মনুষ্যের চিতে নারে ওইছে গ্রন্থ ধন্য বৃন্দাবন দাস মুখে বক্তা শ্রী চৈতন্য. An ordinary human being cannot compile a book like this, like Chaitanya Bhagavat. Vrindavan Das Thakur himself wrote it, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself personally spoken this through Vrindavan Das Thakur. বৃন্দাবন দাস পদে কোটি নমস্কার, ওইছে গ্রন্থ করিতে হো তারিলা সংসার. Koti Namaskar, millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And he has delivered the entire world just by giving this book to us. Such a wonderful book. নারায়ণী চৈতন্যেরও উচ্ছিষ্ট ভাজন তারও গর্ভে জন্মিলা শ্রী দাস বৃন্দাবন. Narayani Devi, she eternally eats the remnants of the food of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Vrindavan Das Thakur took birth in her womb. তার কি অদ্ভুত চৈতন্য চরিত বর্ণন যাহার শ্রবণে কইল শুদ্ধ কইল ত্রিভুবন. How wonderful, what a wonderful description he has given of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Wonderful descriptions. See, these things I'm not saying. Kabiraj Goswami himself is glorifying like rust, like anything. Jaharo Shavane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan. Anyone in the three worlds who hears it is purified. বৃন্দাবন দাস কইল চৈতন্য মঙ্গল তাহাতে চৈতন্য লীলা বর্ণিল সকল. Chaitanya Lila, everything he has described in Chaitanya Mangal. সূত্র করি সবল লীলা করিল গ্রন্থন পাছে বিস্তারিয়া তাহার কইল বিবরণ. He first summarized all the pastimes of the Lord and later he described them vividly in detail. First he summarized, like in first chapter we will read summary of Chaitanya Lila, entire thing, Adi Anta Madhya, and then he gave in detail. বিস্তার দেখিয়া কিছু সংকোচ হইল মন সূত্র ধৃত কোন লীলা না কইল বর্ণন. So now Kaviraj Goswami is saying interesting that when Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote, compiled his Chaitanya Bhagavat, he saw that it became so extensive. And that's why felt that some had not been properly described. সূত্র ধৃত কোন লীলা না কইল বর্ণন. So that's why, like, it became so extensive. They call it Grantha Bahullo. The book became extensive. That's why he cut short and summarized some of the pastimes. নিত্যানন্দ লীলা বর্ণনে না হইল আবেশ নিত্যানন্দ লীলা বর্ণনে হইল আবেশ চৈতন্যেরও শেষ লীলা রহিল অবশেষ. Actually, Vrindavan Das Thakur became like he ecstatically he described the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. He came in ecstasy. That's why Vrindavan Das Thakur could not complete Chaitanya Lila actually. He could not complete describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's last pastimes, later pastimes. That's why those things are untold, remain untold. So that's why what happened, Nityananda Prabhu ordered Kaviraj Goswami to write the later pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Vrindavan Das Thakur came in ecstasy in describing and glorifying Nityananda Prabhu with his pastimes. So that's why he couldn't finish. The book became extensive. বৃন্দাবন দাসের পদ পদ্ম করি ধ্যান তারও আজ্ঞা লইয়া লিখি যাহাতে কল্যাণ. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita author Kaviraj Goswami is saying that. That's why I am now attempting to write Chaitanya Charitamrita, the remaining untold pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this book, and for that I took permission from Vrindavan Das Thakur by praying at his lotus feet. And upon receiving his order, I have attempted to write this auspicious scripture, Chaitanya Charitamrita. চৈতন্য লীলাতে ব্যাস বৃন্দাবন দাস তার কৃপা বিনা অন্যে না হয় প্রকাশ. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Vyasdev, authorized writer of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. That's why without his mercy, therefore, one cannot describe these pastimes. So we also pray to Vrindavan Das Thakur that we can read his Chaitanya Bhagavat. Then he also writes in Adi Lila chapter 11. বৃন্দাবন দাস নারায়ণীর নন্দন চৈতন্য মঙ্গল যেহ করিলা রচন. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the son of Narayani, and he has written Chaitanya Mangal. Bhagavate Krishna Lila, Bornila Veda Vyas, Chaitanya Lila Te Vyas, Vrindavana Das. In Bhagavatam, Vyasdev wrote Krishna Lila. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Vyas. From Adi Lila of chapter 13, Chaitanya Lila Vyas, Das Vrindavan, Madhura Koriya Lila, Korila Rachon. That's why I call Vyasa is also one of the position. One of the position post is called Vyasa to write the pastimes. In each kalpa, in each yuga, or like this kalpa and all, there is a Vyasa and he has the service of giving out the Shastra. So Vrindavan Thakur is the Vyasa for Chaitanya pastimes. Madhura Koriya Lila Korila Rachon. He very described the pastimes in such a way as to make them sweeter and sweeter. Sweet pastimes. চৈতন্য লীলার ব্যাস দাস বৃন্দাবন তারও আজ্ঞা কারণ তার উচ্ছিষ্ট চর্বণ. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Vyas of Chaitanya Lila, and I am kind of chewing his remnants. Uchishta Charbon. I am chewing his remnants here. Kaviraj Goswami is saying. Uchishta. ভক্ত করি শিরে ধরি তাহার চরণ শেষ লীলার সূত্রগণ করিয়ে বর্ণন. Placing his lotus feet upon my head in great devotion, I shall now describe the summary, in summary, the Lord's final pastimes. Final pastimes he will be describing. So in Madhya Lila also he said that সহজে বিচিত্র মধুর চৈতন্য বিহার বৃন্দাবন দাস মুখে অমৃতের ধার. সহজে বিচিত্র মধুর চৈতন্য বিহার. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are naturally vichitra, amazing, all activities, wonderful and sweet, madhur. And Vrindavan Dasha Mukhe Amritero Dhar, like a shower of nectar when it came through the mouth of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Amritero Dhar, shower of nectar. এসব লীলা প্রভুর দাস বৃন্দাবন বিস্তারি করিয়াছেন উত্তম বর্ণন. All these pastimes Vrindavan Das Thakur has given amazingly. উত্তম করিয়াছে বর্ণন. অতএব তাহে বর্ণিলে হয় পুনরুক্তি দম্ভ করি বর্ণি যদি তৈছে নাহি শক্তি. So if I again repeat those pastimes of Mahaprabhu that are already described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, then it will be repetition. And if I be proud and repeat the same thing again, then this is not very good. I don't have such power. I don't have such power. চৈতন্য মঙ্গলে যাহা করিল বর্ণন সূত্র রূপে সেই লীলা করিয়ে সূচন. So whatever Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote in Chaitanya Bhagavat, all the pastimes, I am mentioning them as sutra, like briefly in Chaitanya Charitamrita as a synopsis. So yeah, that's what we said that whatever is there in Chaitanya Bhagavat, you will not find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You'll find as a synopsis. And whatever is not there in Chaitanya Bhagavat, you will find that in details in Chaitanya Charitamrita. তার সূত্র আছে তেহ না কইল বর্ণন যথা কথন চিত করি সে লীলা কথন. Some of the incidents he did not describe elaborately but only summarized, and these I shall try to describe in this book in Chaitanya Charitamrita. All these things he said in Chaitanya Charitamrita. অতএব তার পায়ে করি নমস্কার তারও পায় অপরাধ না হোক আমার. That's why I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. I hope that I will not offend his lotus feet by this action. বৃন্দাবন দাস প্রথম যে লীলা বর্ণিলা সেসব লীলার আমি সূত্র মাত্র কইলা. Whatever is said, I just summarize them. Simple. তার ত্যাক্ত অবশেষ সংক্ষেপে কহিল. Lilar bahulle grantho tothapi barilo. So that is also sometimes I feel that why did Kaviraj Goswami or Vrindavandas Thakur worry about the book being extensive? Let it be extensive. Hmm. Let it be extensive. Let us read more and more. But of course, they also saw that if it's more extensive, big book, then people will not read. If they see this much book only, they go, oh, this much book went to read. They will not touch only, they will not read only. That's why, out of mercy for us, they didn't keep. Like Ramayan, we got 24,000 words, 24,000 shlokas in Ramayan by Valmiki. But the original Ramayan was written by Lord Brahma, and he had Shatakoti shloka, 100 crore verses in Ramayan. Yeah. So we might say, okay, what's wrong? Let us also have this 100 crore shloka Ramayan. Will we be able to read that Ramayan? 100 crore shlokas. Narad Muni read that under Brahma. Narad Muni then he came and spoke and taught to Valmiki, but Valmiki gave us only 24,000. So like that, it became smaller edition, summarized edition. But for Bhagavatam, it became enlarged edition. Krishna spoke in 4 verses only Chatushloki, but then Vyasdev made it 18,000 shlokas. So it's good. What if we would have only 4 slokas in Bhagavatam? That's all. You just read 4 slokas, done. It's amazing that we got 18,000 shlokas, isn't it? So, but whatever. Kaviraj Goswami and Vrindavan Thakur both felt that the book should not be big, should not be extensive. That's why they, in place to place, they just summarized it. নিত্যানন্দ কৃপা পাত্র বৃন্দাবন দাস চৈতন্য লীলায় তেহ হয়েন আদি ব্যাস Nityananda Kripa Patra Vrindavan Das. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the recipient of mercy of Nitya of Vrindavan Das Thakur is the recipient of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, and he is the Adi Vyas in Chaitanya Lila. তার আগে যদ্যপি সবলীলার ভান্ডার তথাপি অল্প বর্ণিয়া ছাড়িলেন আর although Vrindavan Das Thakur had the entire bhandar, entire full storehouse of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, still he has left aside most of them and described but a small portion. You see, Vrindavan Das Thakur gave so many things and then still he said a small portion only given. Small portion. যে কিছু বর্ণিলু সেহ সংক্ষেপ করিয়া লিখিতে না পারেন তবু রাখিয়াছেন লিখিয়া. What I have described was left aside by Vrindavan Das Thakur, but although he could not describe this pastimes, he gave us a synopsis. চৈতন্য মঙ্গলেতে হো লিখিয়াছে স্থানে স্থানে সেই বচন শুনো সেই পরম প্রমাণে. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, he has described the pastimes in many places. I request my readers to hear that book, for that is the best evidence. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is requesting the readers to read Chaitanya Bhagavat. সংক্ষেপে কহিল বিস্তার না যায় কথনে বিস্তারিয়া বেদ ব্যাস করিব বর্ণনে. So I described the pastime very briefly, for it is impossible. Acha, now this is a quotation from Chaitanya Bhagavat. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, we find that Vrindavan Das Thakur has said that this is directly from Chaitanya Bhagavat. You see, interesting. Sangshepe Kohilu Bistar Najai Varnone. Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that I have summarized briefly summarized the pastimes. It is impossible for me to describe them in full. Bistaria Bedavyas Korilo Varnone. Vedavyas Koribe Varnone. Later on, Vedavyas will describe that, elaborate it. So that means Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that oh, in my Chaitanya Bhagavat, I have summarized Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and later on Vedavyas will come and describe. Who is the latter Vedavyas? So that means Vrindavan Das Thakur is indicating that Kaviraj Goswami is the Vedavyas. But Kaviraj Goswami is saying no, Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Vedavyas. So he's saying that চৈতন্য মঙ্গলে ইহা লিখিয়াছে স্থানে স্থানে, সত্য কহেন আগে ব্যাস করিব বর্ণনে। In Chaitanya Mangal, Vrindavan Das Thakur has stated in many places the factual truth that in future Vrindavan Vedavyas will describe them elaborately. Hmm? He is the Adi Vyas. Just a second. Okay, so yeah, he's saying that Chaitanya Lilamrita Sindhu Dugdhabdi Shaman, Trishna Puro Jhari Bari Teho Koila Pan. Amazing. Chaitanya Lilamrita Sindhu Dugdhabdi Shaman. The ocean of nectarine pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like the ocean of milk, milk ocean. And Trishna Puro Jhari Bari. According to his thirst, Vrindavan Das Thakur filled his pitcher and drank from that ocean. It's like whole ocean is there. You take your pitcher, you take your jar, you take your pot. Whatever is the capacity of your pot, you take everything in that pot. But it's like an ocean. According to his thrust, Vrindavan Das Thakur did that. Trishna Puro Jhari Bari Tiho কইল পান, তার ঝাড়ি শেষামৃত কিছু মোরে দিলা, ততে কে ভরিল পেট তৃষ্ণা মোর গেলা. Whatever remnants of milk Vrindavan Das Thakur has given me after sufficient to fill my belly, now my thirst is completely satiated. Whatever he has given me, I have satiated my thirst with that. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave this entire thing compiled and gave us even the biography of Chaitanya. So this second. Yes. So like that. So read out the entire biography of him, and then you find the biography of then you find introduction to Gaudiya Bhashya. Of course, in the Bengali edition, they have also given the biography of Saraswati Thakur also briefly. So this Gaudiya Bhashya, we will read in details in the next class. Interesting. It is lots of philosophical points he has given. And then Chaitanya Bhagavat, first chapter, will start. So in Gaudiya Bhashya, his commentary, he has clearly refuted. Saraswati Thakur's writings are amazing, and like you say, it's like it will break your tongue, break your teeth if you read the original Bengali. Now, in English, it's translated as much a simpler way. Okay, so we'll try to read this in our next class. The introduction to the biography of Saraswati Thakur, which is called Gaudiya Bhashya. And then after that, we start our first chapter, Adi Lila. So basically, yeah, you have got the PDF. You can go ahead in reading Chaitanya Bhagavat and relish it, nourish it. And you can join us in the class as we are doing weekly one session. So we will be going a bit slowly, but you don't need to go slowly. You go ahead and read it. If you join us, nice, then you can also make your point. You can also share that's why I say this group study, because not that only I speak, I'll read out and I will recite the verses. I'll read out. Say, if you have any point, you can also make your comment. You can read ahead of us, ahead of me, and then make your notes. So any realization, any comment, anything, you can also comment during the class. Bring for us. Mm. Any comment, any question here today? Yes, Balaganesh Prabhu. Okay, just let me give you access to unmute yours. Yes, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam.
So Prabhu, I tried to read introduction to Gaudiya Bhasha, that the language seems to be little difficult, Prabhu. I mean the words.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, the language, but if you read the original Bengali, you will say it's the difficult.
Okay.
Difficult. So whatever, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote for his contemporary audience, and at that time this was the standard. But of course, in that time also, even his disciples also found it difficult to read.
Okay.
So that's why Srila Prabhupada said that my Guru Maharaj wrote his books only for me, only I can understand them. So you require, like, one requires to learn no Sanskrit, and also one requires to read Bhagavatam and the Shastras. Then one can understand, because Saraswati Thakur sometimes he brings certain things from Bhagavatam, from one corner of Bhagavatam, how you will bring it, and he will turn it into a phrase. He'll make it the terminology. He will say like that. For example, Prahlad Maharaj said in 7th canto, Adanta Govid Vishatam Tamishram Punah Punashcharvita Charvananam Adanta Govid. So Saraswati Thakur will make this Adanta go as a phrase. He will call those Adanta goes will not understand these. He will not understand this. Why is this Adanta go means what? Then for that you need to have read Bhagavatam and understand, okay, this one he got from Bhagavatam 7th canto. So that is his typical way of writing. But of course, in next class, I will try to summarize, make it more simplify, um, try to make present it more simplify. Of course, whatever I can understand, not that I can understand everything of Saraswati Thakur, whatever I can understand by reading the Bengali and English both comparing together, I can try to summarize few points.
Yeah. Prabhu, one more question, Prabhu, if I may.
Yes.
Prabhu, this we'll keep reading Prabhu daily. So what's the plan, Prabhu? Basically, like how many months it may take or years it may take to
The
complete.
plan is not to have any plan. Here, because this is we have plans like our course, the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaidya, we have planned to finish it. But this one, I haven't made any plan. I can make plan, okay, this many pages a day and then like that. But of course, another thing is, let's relish Chaitanya Bhagavat, the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and also beautiful commentary of. But of course, it will take quite a time. As you see the PDF, there are how many PDFs in that file I shared, and even that book also, if you buy it, as you have bought it, how many volumes are there? So it will take some time, a long task. So one thing is that you can go ahead and reading on your own, and if you have any questions, you can ask in the class. Whatever you couldn't understand, some clarification. Of course, not that I can understand. I don't claim that I understand everything just because I know Bengali. Not that, but whatever I understand, whatever little bit points I can share. That's why I call it a Chaitanya Bhagavat group study. Not as I'm not teaching Chaitanya Bhagavat here. I'm not teaching you Chaitanya Bhagavat. Idea is I want to release Chaitanya Bhagavat. Of course, I am doing it in Bengali. We have a Bengali group with Bengali devotees. We are also doing it every Friday, every Thursday morning. We are reading like this Chaitanya Bhagavat. So I thought, okay, let's do it in English also, so that those who don't know Bengali, they can also come and join us. So I heard that Bhakti Siddha. I don't know the reference, but I heard that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur read Chaitanya Bhagavat 108 times. I heard it. I haven't read it anywhere. So, but whatever, it might be possible. Might have he read it. So, and we said, oh, Siddhanta Saraswati and all like that. But point is, he is Siddhanta Saraswati, is the Simha Guru, Lion Guru. But still, it's not that easy to be Siddhanta Saraswati. Means point, what I mean to, like, I want to make is that it's not that he just came from spiritual world and directly revealed himself as Siddhanta Saraswati. He showed us. He is Siddhanta Saraswati, Lion Guru. Still, he read 108 times. He read the Shastras. And we just read 1-2 times and we say, okay, I read it, I forget it. So read it times after times, read it many times, and relishing. This is life. This should be our life, relishing. So that's what Saraswati Thakur was asked, that what should we hear? Lila Kirtan, Lila Katha Kirtan is amazing. So Saraswati Thakur, actually Lila Kirtan means, people mean that hearing about the internal pastimes or conjugal pastime between Krishna and Gopis and Radharani. So Saraswati Thakur said, no, we should not do that kind of Lila Kirtan Shravana when we are in conditioned state. Rather, we should hear to Krishna's childhood pastimes, and we should hear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. That is our Lila Kirtan. Go on hearing those. In Vrindavan, Babaji will say, oh, you need to hear the Ashtakalya Lila of Radha Krishna. No. So that's why we have got these two amazing books. One is Krishna book by Srila Prabhupada. Read it. Take a vow that let me read it 50 times, 10 times, 20 times. Why not? His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, he made a nice chart that if you read this many pages a day, you can finish the book within this many time. That's like that. So similarly, maybe someone can make a chart for Chaitanya Bhagavat and make a plan and read like that. On this self-study, you read like this many pages every day. And let's see how many. There are around 60 chapters in Chaitanya Bhagavat. 60 chapters in Chaitanya Bhagavat, of course, along with the commentary, it's big. So you make a plan, how many years it takes to finish Chaitanya Bhagavat if you read daily, then second round, third round, fourth round, similarly Bhagavatam also.
Did Srila Prabhupada quote any time on Chaitanya Bhagavat Prabhu? Did he attempted to translate, or did he quote anywhere on Chaitanya Bhagavat?
Prabhupada, he quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita purpose, he quoted, but we understand what Srila Prabhupada's, his main purpose was, that's why he gave Chaitanya Charitamrita, to establish the philosophy, teachings of Mahaprabhu. And that's why you see when, like Bhagavad Gita also, Prabhupada gave us Bhagavad Gita as it is. Prabhupada wanted to write another Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada wanted to write another second Bhagavad Gita for us. Now, this Bhagavad Gita, what he wrote it and he dedicated it to Vrindavan, Balada Vidyabhushan. Why did he dedicate to Balada Vidyabhushan? Because Prabhupada followed the commentary of Balada Vidyabhushan. Of course, that is a long discussion. That Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has a commentary on Bhagavad Gita called Sarartha Varshini. And Balada Vidyabhushan wrote another commentary on Gita called Gita Bhushan. So generally the etiquette is, if the guru writes a commentary on a book, the disciple doesn't write on it. This is the general etiquette. If the guru has written, the disciple doesn't write again. But and then Balada Vidyabhushan was the Shiksha disciple of Vrindavan Das of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is called Rasika Acharya. From the rasa perspective, he wrote the commentary of Bhagavad Gita. But Baladev Vidyabhushan, that's why he's called a Tattva Acharya. He had the mission of establishing the Tattva, the principle, the philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. That's why he was ordered by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur to go to Jaipur, and then he wrote Govinda Bhashya, our philosophy, Sampradaya philosophy established. So that's why he wrote another commentary. So there are two commentaries on Gita, we can say. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote two commentaries on Gita. One is in line with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, which he called as Rasik Ranjan. Another he wrote in line with Baladev Vidyabhushan, which he calls as Vidvad Ranjan. Two commentaries in these two lines. So Srila Prabhupada took the task to write Bhagavad Gita for us, for ISKCON and for the world. First of all, he had chosen Baladev Vidyabhushan, because Baladev Vidyabhushan established the principle, the Tattva philosophy. That's why Prabhupada had the urgent need to establish the principle, the Tattva. That's why he dedicated it to Baladev Vidyabhushan. Now, Prabhupada had another plan, another desire to write another Bhagavad Gita commentary in line with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we would have two Bhagavad Gitas now. Our devotees are finding it difficult to one Gita only. What if we would have two Gitas? In Bhakti Shastri, you have to read two Gitas. Oh my God. So, whatever. Fortunately or unfortunately, we haven't got two Gitas. We'll say unfortunately, we haven't got. Otherwise, wow, amazingly, we would get two Gitas. So, like that, Prabhupada had many plans later on to write. Similarly, his plan was to give us Chaitanya Charitamrita. Definitely, he might have planned to give us Chaitanya Bhagavata also later on. But due to the limitation of time, unfortunately, we couldn't get it. And of course, Saraswati Thakur's commentary is there, so directly we got it. And Prabhupada knew it. Saraswati Thakur has written on Chaitanya Bhagavata, so later on anyone can translate it and read it. Of course, Saraswati Thakur wrote on Chaitanya Charitamrita also commentary, but Prabhupada gave in English. So actually, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's kind of almost a translation of Saraswati Thakur. If you read the Bengali commentary of Saraswati Thakur, this is almost like that. Yeah, of course, not fully. Some certain things are not there, but almost. I was trying to translate some portion of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Chaitanya Charitamrita Bengali commentary into English. So I was saying that Prabhupada already gave things, kind of a paraphrase, summarize everything he gave. Yes, Uddharini Suradhuni Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
So
Pranam.
thank you so much for conducting these classes. Actually, I was a little bit unfocused in the first stage of your class. So I didn't understood that the Gaudiya Bhashya you were telling, it is written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
No, Gaudiya Bhashya is the commentary of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Oh, okay. So the means like first of all, Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote this Chaitanya Bhagavat, and then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes, correct.
And Prabhu, like the previous first you were telling that first we are to read Chaitanya Charitamrita and then Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have seen that we have systematic study of Bhagavad Gita, then Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what should we do? Like first read Chaitanya Charitamrita and then go for Bhakti Vaibhav and Bhakti Vedanta, or means what shall we do?
Yeah, for us, one thing is we are fortunate that we got Srila Prabhupada's commentary, Srila Prabhupada's purport, Bhakti Vedanta purports. Prabhupada quoted Chaitanya Charitamrita in his Bhagavad Gita purport. So Prabhupada brought the ultimate teachings of Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam purports. So if you read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, any of the books of Srila Prabhupada, so it's as good as we are reading the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada made it easy for us. So otherwise, without Prabhupada's commentary purport, if you read Gita or Bhagavad, you won't understand unless you have read Chaitanya Charitamrita. So yeah, still we will say that with Prabhupada's purport also, you read Bhagavad Gita, you read Bhagavatam, read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then again you come to and read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then you see that you will better understand.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you so much. And Prabhu, one more question. That is, first we should read Chaitanya Bhagavat or Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Yeah, first Chaitanya Bhagavata is the first book, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita comes. So, but as Srila Prabhupada has given us Chaitanya Charitamrita purport, so I'll say, okay, read Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavata. Read both side by side. But of course, read Chaitanya Charitamrita is really, Prabhupada gave the ultimate philosophy teachings for us there.
Okay, Prabhu,
And
thank you
now
so
we
much.
have, as we have started Chaitanya Bhagavata study now, so yeah, you can read with us slowly. And meanwhile, you read Chaitanya Charitamrita faster and finish it first. Then you read entire Chaitanya Bhagavat. And then
Thank
again, read Chaitanya, like all these things go on cycle.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lalita Madhumi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you
Dandavat
so
pranam.
much. Prabhuji, I was wondering, while the session is going on, sometimes we are taking notes and we miss out on some points. Would you consider recording these sessions?
I have
so we can-
recorded and I have shared already in the group. I am broadcasting the entire session on YouTube. So if you miss a session, that will be on our YouTube channel, Paratattva English. We have an YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel, and I have already shared that today's class link in the WhatsApp group. So you can access the class from there also.
Oh, I see it, Prabhuji. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much to all of you for your enthusiastic participation and hearing. Yes, ISKCON Round Rock asked, I thought Gaudiya Bhashya was commentary of, no. Gaudiya Bhashya is the commentary of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote a commentary on Caitanya Charitamrita, which is called Amrita Pravaha Bhashya. So on Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are two commentaries, one by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, which is called Amrita Pravaha Bhashya, and another is by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which is called Anubhashya. And then Srila Prabhupada gave us his Bhaktivedanta purports. And on Chaitanya Bhagavat, we have only Gaudiya Bhashya by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, so see you next Sunday. Hare Krishna. And with pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna, pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Dandavat pranam. Dandavat